And what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Get RECkt, bro. I'm your host, Sensei. And with me today, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only GONZO.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, listen, like I said before we started recording, man, you got a fan base like no other. You got a fan base. There are people on Twitter. There's people on Discord just hitting me up like, when's that GONZO show dropping? So we had to get you on, man. I'm super excited, and I hope you are as well, brother.
Listen, I'm super excited to be on here. I don't know where this fan base comes from. I just joined the league like this Vanguard season. So all these I don't know what to say, man.
Listen, you are turning absolute heads. People are dialed in on the man, the myth, the legend himself, in GONZO. Young CRL career thus far, man. And hopping right into the questions, man. Question number one is going to be, though you have a young CRL career, how has that experience been thus far?
I think it's been really good. A lot of people are saying, one of the first comments I've seen is we've been sandbagging since we've been here. So, although our career has been small, I think that's why all the names have been coming out for me for like GONZO to Diamond, GONZO to Plat. So, although short, it's been a very exciting journey in this CRL season.
That's good. Anytime someone new comes in, man, I think everyone gets a little bit of that in terms of like this person sandbagging, that person sandbagging. So you know what? That's complimentary at this point. That's a must. That's how you got initiated into the CRL family, honestly. But talk to me about your season. Having a great season thus far. 4-0, you guys are looking absolutely unstoppable, like a 86.65 win percentage. What's going on? You guys are dominating.
Yeah, so we have 4-0 right now. We actually play our final match of this pool tonight. It's been, I don't want to say easy because it hasn't been easy. We played the Seattle Sloths, which was a team that was apparently murdering everybody in the preseason 2 tournament. And people thought we weren't going to stack up well against them because they were beating even diamond teams in that tournament because they took second place. So we actually came out pretty hot and we 3-1 them, which got us into 4-0 for the whole season so far. But it's been nothing but fun times, laughs. Everybody's been cool in the league, in the Plat division. So it's been a good time so far.
And you alluded to something there. Just tonight, time of recording is Wednesday. You guys have your final match in the pool. What are some things you guys are, because this is going to release on Thursday. So going into today, what is like some things you guys are going to be looking forward to do here to try and get this victory?
So going into tonight, this supposedly is a tough team we're playing tonight. They were in gold prior, and they said gold was too easy for them. So now they're in Plat, and since they've been in Plat, they took over an 0-2 record, and now they're 2-0, technically for their own team. So we're hoping for a good match. Hopefully it doesn't go to map 5 because we hate and we choke map 5s. But hopefully we can go for a 3-0 or 3-1. And honestly, we're just hoping for a good game. Hoping they can turn up against us and we can do the same.
I can't think of any other team than the team that you're talking about that came from gold. I heard those rumors instantly after like week 2 that there's a team in gold that are looking to just move out of there as fast as possible. So to see you guys going up against each other, that's going to be great to see because you guys are the powerhouse of Plat. So if they belong, this is the moment.
Too much gas there.
Come on, man. When it's 4-0, that shows something, especially in the Plat division. We're talking about the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme when we're speaking about those guys. But yeah, that's going to be their test. And you guys are going to be a hard test because, your team is very stacked all the way through, even the subs. So talk to me a little bit about your team currently.
Yeah, so when we first joined the CRL, a lot of the teams started talking about us, how our team apparently since we were like winning, basically is what I'm trying to say. Everybody thought that we came and we've been teaming for forever and that we were sandbagging because we were in the silver and bronze tournament going into the CRL for that primer.
Mm-hmm.
And we dominated in that. I think we even played you guys too. But it was one of those things where we didn't know where we belonged at first.
Right.
We have never been in a league before. And our team just formed maybe even like two months before the CRL even started for the season. So, but it's been me and Monster since Modern Warfare. I met him in a public match and we became good friends from there. And then we ended up meeting Reckless. Well, Monster met Reckless in a random Warzone match. They started killing each other over and over again in a Rebirth. And they ended up becoming friends from that, just by killing each other. And our fourth player, Berg, was Reckless's friend. So that's how we all decided to, hey, let's make a team and see where, we could go from there.
And that just sounds like a dream come true right there, because when you can find teammates just around the world, like randomly, man, I've always said something is like, don't team with your friends, like find people that you can team with that have the same mindset, because sometimes when you team with friends, like just pure friends, your IRL friends, it's, people don't hold people to the same standards as they would with someone that's like, random. So to see you guys come together and be as dominant as you've been so far is honestly amazing, because I believe didn't you guys make it to finals last season?
Yeah, so we ended up making it to finals. We were up 2-0 and ended up getting reverse swept by Paris letdowns. So that's She-Harm, Avidity, and AJ and Ivan the Slime. And they made that one substitute in map 3, and they ended up just taking the rest of the series against us. Bokage was map 4 for us, and that was probably our worst game mode. I mean, no, not worst game mode, worst map in that game mode. So when we saw that and we lost map 3, which was our best map in that game mode, we lost map 3. Instantly, we knew it was going game 5.
Oh,
instantly, and we were just like, all right, let's see what we could do in that search and destroy, and it didn't turn out going the best for us.
So you guys are still on the hunt for that championship, and you guys looking hungry as ever again, starting 4-0. That's no easy task, especially when you're in plat, man. You talked to me a little bit about your team. Got to know how you guys were formed, and that's good. But getting into some spice early, just think like
all right,
mild spice here.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna open up about it. So when we first joined, we finished the primer, whatever. We got into Shio moved us into gold, or Shio and Jim's moved us into gold, and automatically people were watching our VODs. People were saying that we sit down personally and watch like 6 to 8 hours of VOD every night, that we scrim every night, that we do like things that pro players are doing every night, and that was like complete false. So we always looked at that as like a common joke, and I ended up actually turning my subscriptions on my Twitch to VODs can only be viewed by subs only. And I ended up getting like 6 or 7 people subs just so they could watch the VODs. So that's how I knew that people were watching our VODs to, I guess, just understand how we play. Which is weird. Like, that's weird for a CRL,
Hey, that does come across as weird, but smart business decision by you, huh? To get the people to pay, just a couple $, to see that VOD. But man, again, you guys are dominant, so people have to try to do their homework as much as possible. And when you're that dominant, people start to give you guys, a kind of a rep for being, a little sweaty. But hey, man, that's okay at this given point in time, especially when you're in plat pre-made division. But talking about again, just one spicy question right now. It's like, you got your team here, right? But give me a GONZO dream team with players only in the platinum division that you would take if it's not your team already, that you would take up to diamond with you.
That's such a hard question to answer. Maybe people in the lower bracket can answer that because their teams are a lot worse. But since we're dominating 4-0, man, like there's no other people I want to ride this out with than my team. I haven't seen anybody in our division that could take anybody else, even if it's a 1-on-1 on my team. So I think my teammates are probably the best at doing their jobs in our division at the moment.
So you saying you rather take nobody?
I'd rather, yeah. There's nobody I would rather pick up to replace anybody on my team going to Diamond.
Hey,
Also considering the fact that we have a chance to go to Diamond at the moment with our current team, there's no looking, like we're full forward. No, and one of the people that we could have possibly like rang in my head to pick up is our 5th player, who is Nedge, our sub. So,
and that's a good thing you brought Nedge up, because he's on my board of question to ask you. Nedge,
go for it.
He had a little moment there in Gen Chat where people thought Nedge wasn't doing Nedge things. Like he was kind of a little bit I would say robotic. To some people, can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know it was kind of like, a big thing for him as well.
Yeah, so when we first found out about Nedge was because we haven't been in the CRL long. Obviously, everything that happened with him was from season 1 as well. So when we first heard about it, we just went with the vibe of, all right, this kid's walling. He either got kicked out or he couldn't play anymore. So that's what we assumed, but we ended up finally playing against him because he was playing on Strider, Frenzy, Trademarks, and Kai's team, and the other side of Plat, and which is also a funny story because Strider said when he first wanted to scrimmage that he was going to sick Neji on us. So it didn't really work out well for them, and we 4-0'd them in scrims. And ever since that, Neji reached out to me at the end of that and said, hey, I don't want to play with my team anymore. Do you want to pick me up as a sub? So I said, yeah. Obviously, this was where we come up with him walling and hacking and doing non-Neji things.
Right.
So, but ever since we played him, we didn't see anything weird that he was doing. Yeah, he drops a lot of kills, but I think that's just because he's 19 and cracked. So, we've sat down with him. We explained like, hey, like if you're really doing this, if you weren't really doing this, like, well, what's the deal here? And he swears he wasn't. And since then, haven't seen any recognition that he has. When all those accusations came out against him, it was early on in the game. People are still learning the game. People are still learning the movement, and some people are just better than others at the beginning of the game. So I think that's what it was. People might have just been getting pooped on by him in the beginning of the game. But since then, I haven't seen anything fishy with him.
Thanks for clearing that up, man. I really appreciate that insight on Nedge. He's a good player. I think that at some form or another, everyone had the pitchforks out, for Nedge. But it's good to see him back and doing his thing, and especially playing with you guys. So we spoke about your team. I want to get to know more you one-on-one here, because for myself, I know of you, but I don't know you. And I think that the viewers and listeners of the show would definitely want to get to know you as well. We know Gonzo, we know who that is, but who's the guy behind the sticks?
All right, so my real name is Vinny. I'm from New York. I'm 27. My teammates like to tell me I'm a grandpa and I'm a pet rock, and I have like arthritis in my hands because I'm old. They tell me I don't look old, but yeah, I'm 27, turning 28 this year. I do real estate for my business, so I sell houses here in New York. Yeah.
Hey, I might have to hit you up at some point, because definitely need to start looking for one of those. But yeah, honestly, thank you for that insight. A lot of people, they tend to just know one side of the player, and they might get turned off to that side. But when people start to open up here in the CRL and we start to all get a little bit closer, it starts to make it more family friendly and more, the guys start to get together, and I always like stuff like that. But thank you for sharing that. And into the spicy question, we go right after that. Gonzo, give me your bot of the CRL, and even if you can, specifically talking into the platinum pre-made division, who's the bot of plat?
It's got to be Frenzy. It's got to be Frenzy. Do you know who Frenzy is?
I definitely know who Frenzy is.
And Frenzy's a bot, man.
You gotta elaborate on that. Talk to me. Why? What is it about Frenzy?
We played him in scrims before, even in last season when he was still with the Forbidden One, Rat Mario. When he played with Mario, who else? Spied, and I forgot who their fourth was. But either way, the dude just can't shoot back. At least against me, can't shoot back. I play him in 8s now, and he still is a bot, man. His movement is garbage. His shot is garbage. I don't know what to do with him, man. He even asks me sometimes like, "Yo, my team is performing, but we're not winning." Signs of a bot right there. And he just comes out with no hill time. He says main AR shouldn't be on hill, but we're always on hill. So just for that, I have to call him a bot.
I see it. And appreciate that. So give me, we know your bot, but who's a rival? Who's somebody that that you could go up against time and time, and you only get better every time you guys play?
I would have to say Jasir now. Jasir has been someone I didn't think I would be able to even play with in scrims or play with like just friendly competition, but now I'm playing with him like almost 2 nights a week, and he's a really cool guy. The kid's gun skill is amazing, and he deserves nothing but recognition. That guy. I don't know if everybody was watching what he was doing just to carry his team in the last Diamond match, but that dude is amazing. So you usually like playing against Jasir, I feel like 1, I get a little bit better each time, and 2, just trying to gun him off headies is working itself.
Oh, I like it. I think that's a great rival to have here in the CRL. But now, let's talk money. Let's talk. Who are you challenging for $1,000 in UMG because they're getting out of place and they don't know their place? Who's free money to you in the CRL, brother?
Free money to me in the CRL might be trademarks.
Sheesh. There's no delay in your answers. This is crazy.
Yeah, bro. I've been talked about all season. I know who I'm coming after.
Hey, I love it, man. And honestly, how would that go? What are you leaving them on? Is it a zip? You leaving them on zip?
I'm gonna have to. Trademarks is one of the guys that called me one of the worst players on my team last season after not even playing against me, not even playing against us in general. We were only like 3 matches in, 3-0, and he was calling me one of the worst. So I have to come after him.
That's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. So talk to me about being in plat. There's a kind of I would say a kind of characteristic you need to have, and for the younger players, or even the players in lower divisions, when they start to make that decision, hey, I want to go to plat, what's some advice you can give? What's some like mentorship, some words of encouragement for those players to move on up?
I would say one of the biggest things I've seen, and this is across like plat, gold, silver, bronze, is stay with a more solid team than keep switching people in and out. I think that was one of our biggest mistakes, just leading up to where we are now. Like I said before, me and Monster came together from Modern Warfare, and in Cold War, we were 4th on the CMG ladder, and that's because we sticked with the same 4 of us that, we started with, and we finished out strong on that. But besides staying with a solid team and just sticking it out, even through losses, I would have to say just do your research when it comes to like hardpoint rotations and knowing map awareness. Map awareness is probably the biggest key difference in plat to like the lower divisions.
Great insight on that, and I think that the people that are listening, those bronze players that one day think, hey, I want to move up to plat one thing at some point in my CRL career. I think that they're going to take that and really, really use that. So, great advice, honestly. Let's talk about something that has been like a staple question here on Get Wrecked Bro, and that's like we all have our little, I would say little issues with the CRL. Maybe they want to switch this or want to switch that. Maybe text your friend, hey man, if the CRL changed this to this, it will be perfect. If you, Gonzo, were the owner for just a day, what is one change you will make for the CRL?
Yeah, so just watching your old episodes and seeing what everybody else said about this made me realize what I wanted to say about it. And I think, and it's become to reality so far in the last like 2 weeks where people are like complaining about certain things. But I would say that they need someone to basically like vet or background check the new players coming in, because there have been teams that are like saying they're top 34 in challengers, or top AM teams coming in here and trying to play in silver and gold. So I think what I would, or in not change, but like just initiate, is like background checks of players and actually trying to figure out what skill division they belong to.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more. I think that at some point that needs to happen as the CRL continues to grow. I think that the people coming in, we need to just, make it safe for the people that are already in, to where there's not a bronze team that's been coming, that's been buying in season after season. And then there's some top 100 challengers team coming into bronze and just destroying their whole, Wednesday night. So I couldn't agree with you more on that. I want to get into a question for you, Gonzo, in terms of your how you play COD and when you started playing COD. It's kind of a new question. It's just like, give me your COD story, because we all have a COD story on how we found the game and how much we love the game. But where did your journey begin?
All right, so I'm going to give you the whole background because there's an interesting part of this story that gets rather interesting that I like telling my friends that I make online. So I'm 27 years old. I've been playing COD since COD 4. And in COD 4, I've been playing casual. I just figured out that like there's a competitive side to it, but I never really hopped into it.
Right.
And then going into World at War, the zombies came out. Obviously, everybody loved it. But the big hitter was Modern Warfare 2 for me. So Modern Warfare 2 is when I started playing competitive COD. And that's where like this whole story that I'm about to get into becomes. So I had this friend in high school, and you might know who he is. His name is Doug Sensor Martin.
For real?
Yeah, so I went to high school with Doug, and throughout, what's the COD that came after Modern Warfare 2? Was it Black Ops?
Yeah, Black Ops 1, I believe.
Okay, so Black Ops 1, I started becoming friends with him. I believe Black Ops 1 was my sophomore year of high school. So I started becoming more friends with him, and this is when like GB was like nobody knew what GB was. There was only maybe like 5,000 people on it. It wasn't a big thing.
Yeah, it wasn't. I remember those days.
Yeah, and I personally was playing it maybe like once a night with myself. I was doing solos. So, but going into, let's see, Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 was, I started teaming up with Doug. And I started getting into these lobbies with higher class names that are pros right now, which was interesting to me. But me and him eventually ended up falling out as friends. And he is now the person you know today. And I am not, sadly. But...
Hey,
but that's my backstory with that. And then jetpacks came out. Black Ops 2, I was competing. This is before jetpacks, actually. So Black Ops 2, I was competing. Ghost, I was competing. And then Advanced Warfare came out, jetpacks. And good God, I could not understand jetpacks for the life of me, dude. That's when I started showing my age, and at that point, I should have been in my prime. But I stopped playing after Advanced Warfare. I got back into it playing Black Ops 3, and haven't stopped since then.
And that was a big bomb you just dropped here on the show. A former friend of or current friend, I don't know how you guys are.
Right yeah. So
Doug,
I actually matched up with Doug the other night in a ranked lobby, and he completely ignored. Like, my teammates were like telling him like, oh, like, you're playing with him, and he completely ignored me. I went into his stream to like just drop some insight in there, ignored me. So I don't know if he still has some hatred toward me, because there was a thing in the past that we fell out from.
This is a perfect time for that thing in the past to come up.
Okay, all right, so let's say it. All right, so
it, dude. Come on.
So me and him were playing duos on stream, and at this point in time, he liked one of my friend's girlfriends, and on stream, I was just giving him advice about it on, like, how to approach that, because this is one of my best friends. So I was just, but I also knew like Doug for a while at this point.
So he was like in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. So I was in between two forces of nature here, and I didn't know where I was going. So, and I was young. I was just saying, things to just get myself out of that situation, sort of. So the girl actually ended up clipping that whole stream and sending it to my friend.
Oh.
And my friend then comes back at me and was like, yo, like, what is going on here? And that's basically, I ended up, apologizing to my friend, and I kind of ended things with Doug at that point.
Hey, listen, you did the right thing, man. Hey, come on, Doug. If you're watching this, Doug, come on, Doug. Oh man, but that's crazy.
Listen, it was something like in the past. I don't think it should be like a huge thing anymore. Like, no one's with that girl anymore. He's not with that girl anymore. So, hey, I don't know if he still has animosity towards me for it, but it's whatever.
That'd be crazy if he did, though. Like, come on, man. You like Doug. You're Doug, dude. Just leave it alone. Drop it. Give my boy Gonzo another shot. Come on the show, Doug. Come on the show.
That's what, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Be friends again.
That's what I'm saying, man. And we have our 10-year high school reunion in the summer this year, and I don't even know if he's gonna show up. But if he does, I'm gonna be like, yo, like, what's going on, man?
Come on, man. Like, give it another chance. Give Gonzo another chance, Doug. Come on. It's crazy. Gonzo, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that, man. That was great insight on that whole thing that went down. But boy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Only like a few personal friends of mine know that story. So,
hey, listen, thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. But yeah, talk to me about that, that moment and where you were playing with Doug. I assume this has to be your peak. Could you have made that extra step? Could we be seeing Gonzo on a team like Optic right now had, maybe changed a few things?
So that's where I always, try not to think about, because that could have been a real life-changing thing for me. But at that point we were streaming, we were making like YouTube videos and stuff like that. I was getting into 8's lobbies with with Zumas and Clacers. So at that point,
world champions.
At that point, I don't know if I was not good enough or good enough yet. I would never know at this point. So it was one of those, after I cut my tensions with Doug, it was all out the window.
Hey, listen, and things like that do happen.
And don't get me wrong either. I always trash my friend about this specifically. I'm like, bro, if you would have just given me like 1 month to just smooth over, I could have been buying you a Lambo right now.
It could be happening. You missed out on a Lambo. You missed out. But man, thank you again for sharing that here on the show. And Gonzo, it's been a phenomenal show already thus far, and I think we could probably go for another hour. But we're cutting up into some time here. But I do want to ask you, Gonzo, just some final thoughts about your experience in the CRL, your season. Do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I think people should start realizing that plat teams don't scrim. That's one of the biggest issues we've been coming across. Is everybody tells us like we're scrimming every single night, like 6 scrims a night. So people gotta lay off on us about that. We're playing party games most of the time, and we're still dominating in plat. And I'm just waiting for the day where a gold team comes out of nowhere and just smokes us and takes over the whole league because of how hard they're trying.
Right.
But
all right. So
yeah.
final question. Because listen, this got to be it. Okay. Let's say you make it to the finals. Who do you want across from you? What team? What team do you want across from you?
I want a rematch against Seattle Sloths
Ooh,
because when we played them last week, and we both had similar situations because I hopped in on their stream after our game was done, and it was one of those where they didn't get to play with each other since the last time they played with each other, which was the match previous, so a whole week. But we had the same issue. We don't normally scrim, so we get to scrim maybe like once a week if we're lucky. And with the new rank system, our ranks were all over the place, specifically me, because I get carried by 3 demons, and I can't play with them when it comes to ranked because I suck. But, I want to play them when they're at their full potential because they were smoking all these diamond teams in this preseason tournament, so I just want them at their full potential.
Definitely, and that would be one heck of a championship game. Again, honestly, I can't see anything else at this point because there are great platinum teams, but I think you guys are just good cut above the rest in terms of talent, in terms of overall performance as far as the season. So Gonzo, I really want to say thank you for coming on the show. We definitely got to have you on. I win that championship because I want to get every champion captain on the show or players on the championship team at some point, just to talk about the season and whatnot. So definitely you guys are my number one pick to win platinum at this point. So go ahead and keep on. But Gonzo, the viewers want to know, I want to know, where can we find you over on the internet?
So on Twitch and Twitter, my name is Gonzo with 2 H's at the end, TTV. That's on Twitter and Twitch.
And that will be down in the description box below, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all the time for us today. But I want you guys to know, have a good day, have a good night, get going, ladies and gentlemen, because I know you got this, and goodbye.